Okay. So, hello. Welcome to chapter one of University Diaries. This is me, Nandini Dwivedi, your host for this show. And today we have with us Miss Hasun Lee, a bright student from Wheaton University, USA. Hi, Hasan. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great too. So, Hasan, if you don't mind, could you please tell us some more information about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I um grew up in California and South Korea, and I met Nandini in an international school in Korea. And um yeah, when we played basketball together and did sports and many other things. And then I applied for a lot of schools in the US and then graduated high school and then moved to the US this last year, 2021.
So that means now you're a first year student, right?
Pardon?
That means like you're a first year student now, right?
Yes, I'm a
Yeah.
freshman.
So this whole journey, could you tell how smooth it was or how rocky your admission process was?
Hmm. Yeah, so I applied for 10 schools, which is um I think it might be a little bit more than average. Um, but it was a lot of um, it was a lot of work because you you have normal school, and if you might be taking AP classes or IB curriculum, and that's a lot of work. And then on the side, you need to be looking at deadlines. And so I think I had a few early action deadlines, which is usually November, December, and then the regular decision, which is usually January or February deadlines. And you just have to watch out for those deadlines. And thankfully, the Common App makes applying for colleges easier because you put in all your general information and then you can just like tweak some of the essays
Yeah.
that you kind of wrote in general. Um, but then also some colleges might like invite you for an interview. And so you have to also prepare for interviews and then also maybe have to apply for financial aid. So there's just lots of little things you have to take care of while also doing your senior school.
Yeah. So while writing your SOPs and your college essay, did you ever face like a brick wall or just didn't
Mm.
know what to write, where to start?
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. The Common App essay, like the most general one, that's like really very general, and you might not know what is good to write about. And um, yeah, I think it's really just, any story that you feel like would be a good representation of yourself. And usually the more specific essays might be about like academics or extracurricular activities. So maybe the Common App general essay, maybe you want to write about another side of yourself that wouldn't be told in those other essays.
So, what would you say was the easiest thing in the whole process of high school to college, the whole transition? What was like the easiest thing for you, and what was the hardest thing for you?
That's a good question. Hmm. I think definitely the hardest thing is the transition. I think freshman year of high school and freshman year of college is always going to be difficult because you don't really know anyone. No one knows you, who you really are. And it's just kind of, you have to show yourself. And I think it takes time. So I always enjoyed my like sophomore year better or my junior year better because you're just kind of building
Yeah.
up who you are in this new place. The easiest thing would be, I guess, just like over time, after you developed a lot of relationships and just being able to enjoy those relationships with teachers and your classmates and friends.
That's a really nice response. So what would you say was what do you say? Sorry, my brain's not processing. But what would you say was the best thing that has happened to you once you've come to college? What was like your greatest motivation to like, get up every day and go to your classes? What's like the biggest motivation for you?
Mm. Yeah, I think it's definitely, I think for me, I've been very motivated by my dorm community. I have a really great dorm floor, and we have a resident assistant, RA. She's a junior and she takes care of us freshmen. And it's just been very good for me to, um, I think I stay a lot in my room sometimes studying or doing things, but it's good that there's always things going on the floor so that I can come out and just be present and be able to enjoy the studying life, but also the social life of college.
What would you say was like, how did you know that the application letter that you got back once you got like, your admission response that you've gotten to this university, you've gotten to that university. So how did you know that Wheaton was the one for you?
Mm. Yeah, I had a lot of factors when deciding colleges, and thankfully it was a little bit more clear for me because finances kind of was a big part of my college decision, and then also um, location and let's see. Yeah, so I feel like I kind of just I applied for all pretty academically challenging colleges. So it was really just kind of these other two factors. And so I just talked about it with my family and we decided that Wheaton was a good place for me. And also, Wheaton was probably the smallest school I applied for. And I've been going to small schools for a long time. So I think it has been a good fit for me.
So, by small school, I'm guessing you mean there are lesser number of students in your classes, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, how well do you think are like relations going on for you right now, and how important is it to have good relations in universities?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I've made a few close friends and I'm really excited to keep making more friends, especially as I like start doing more classes that are in my major. Um, but yeah, relationships are definitely really important in college. It's actually really easy to get lonely because you could just be studying all the time, or you could be just in your room the whole time. If you have to actually really pursue relationships, you have to go out to events, you have to commit to conversations and meals with classmates or friends because everyone has like different schedules as well. So it's really, um, it is a big commitment to relationships. But it's really good when you do it because there are people there who support you, who know you, and who will continue to be with you throughout college.
So, what major are you exactly, if you could tell us?
I am an elementary education major.
Oh, wow, that's really wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
So, for someone who is applying to the same field as you are, What would be some
Mhm.
piece of advice that you'd have to give them as a senior?
Oh, as a high school senior, you mean?
Yeah, like I mean, like you'd be
Uh,
senior to them, right? So you're already first
yeah, yeah.
year.
Oh,
So you'd be second year by the time they go. So what
oh.
would you
Mhm.
do as an elder to them?
Yeah. Um, yeah, for my school, they kind of have like us do like tutoring in our first year. And so, and then also later, I believe there's lots of student teaching. So I think elementary education majors have to, set out time in the afternoon so that they can later like go visit schools and things. So just knowing that ahead of time so that you can decide your extracurricular activities accordingly.
Right. So do you like really feel interested in like a part of university?
Art meaning
Like, do you feel like part of your university and
apart. Sorry, I
yeah.
heard art. um, yeah, it's let's see. At my school, we're a Christian school, so we have chapel 3 times a week. So it's but I like it. It's a time when everyone gathers together and it's just good to see the whole student body and also see different professors speak at the chapel and like yeah, just know about that there's just so many things here that I don't know about. But we can still be one community. So I think it's been good.
So, we went to the same Christian high school together, right? So, what would you say is like, how would you bring people to go to a Christian university? Well, what would you say is like the biggest benefit?
Hmm. Yeah. I think my college is also a liberal arts college, so that's one of their main um, points to bring people in. It's that you are going to be a very well-rounded person and um, take many the goal is to make you just a person who loves learning and becomes interested in subjects that you might never have known you were interested in. And we also want you to continue to grow in your relationship with Jesus while you're at college. It's um, we want you to be just for the goal of getting a career and earning money, but there's more to it. It's learning about who Jesus is. So I think it kind of just works all together.
What would you say like, how is like your bond with Christ after going to Christian college? Like, how has it improved over time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think been um it's been good. My faith strengthened a lot during COVID and just different, like my youth group in Korea. And then coming here, thankfully, I found a church and a small group as well. So it's just been, I think it's been good to have a college small group and just talk about the difficulties of being a college student and the God of my high school is the same God who is here in my college. And so I've been continuing to learn how to just be fruitful every day. It's not think about like the long-term plans, but just be present today and how can I love others? How can I be intentional today?
Hasan, what would you say is your biggest advice for students who are going to take SAT?
Hmm. Yeah. Let's see. I found the Khan Academy like practice um the full practice test and then like the specific practice tests on certain topics really helpful to do the Khan Academy practice. And then yeah, just practicing a lot and getting used to the like the writing style. Like even for math, like I just had to get used to like the writing style and what they wanted. And then yeah, just on the test, you know what you're doing, you do your best. And just I think time management, like even if you might be solving some problems wrong, if you're staying on top of time, like you have a better chance of doing well overall.
So my last question would be for you is overall, not just university based or like high school based, but overall, what's your biggest piece of advice for life in general?
Oh my.
I know it's a philosophical question, but
I know.
I just
You guys,
thought
I'm
it
not that
was
old.
quite
I'm not that much older than you.
I know, but like, what would be your biggest piece of advice? Because some people truly find inspiration in other people's words.
Mhm.
So I guess some listeners of ours who are listening to this might actually really find
Mhm.
some piece of advice connecting to yours and some inspiration. So.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Let's see. This is hard. I would say, let's see. Yeah, just biggest piece of advice. Okay, it has to be advice. um, yeah, I would say no, no, know who the people who love and support you are. Because wherever you go, even when you transition to new places later, if you have that strong understanding of these are the people in my life who are constantly loving me and supporting me, then you will feel a lot less alone, and you know that you are allowed to depend on people. You don't need to do everything on your own. And you have this hope that you're going to find more of those people in the next place that you go.
Oh, that's really deep and a wonderful answer.
Thank you.
So with that, we end this interview, chapter 1 of University Diaries. Thank you so much for joining in, Hasun.
Thank you for having me.
So I will end our recording now. And yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, is it ended?